Hello there. How are you doing? This is Melisha with Love for Life Wellness. Welcome to Sister Saturday. I am so excited that you are here with us on this beautiful Saturday morning. And I just wish you blessings and health and prosperity, and that you feel the love from on high coming down to you, and that you will just go out and do great things today in the world. For those that don't know me, I am a nutritional health coach. I live in Springfield, Missouri, and I started my coaching journey from a place of sickness. And so so I was able to get well by just changing the way I eat and putting good things in my body and connecting with great people. And so I became a health and wellness coach. And my desire is to just help people to get better. And so I've coached clients from California to New York, and I'm just excited to do what I do. Um, to do what I do. I have Debbie Smith Torrence on today. For some reason, the feed is not going like I want it to, but we'll see, because I don't see you coming up on my other screen, Debbie. But anyway, so yeah, I'm a nutritional health coach, and I offer group coaching, one-on-one coaching, virtual coaching, and so I'm excited to do what I do. Got a couple of things going on. I have a membership that's coming up. For some reason, Debbie, it's on, but let me see. It's not connecting. Just one
I can
second.
see you.
I can't
I
see you.
can see you.
You can. Okay.
I can see myself. I can see myself and I can see you.
Okay, wonderful. When I'm talking about on my Facebook page. Let me see. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Okay. I wonder why I wasn't seeing you for some reason. I'm going to go back. Okay. So, all righty. So today I'm excited. I've got as my guest today, Deborah Smith Torrence of Auspicious Wellness, and she is help guiding me to be able to offer another alternative to my clients to help them on the road to wellness. Mostly I talk about changing the way you eat and how you think. We start with how you think first, changing the way you think, how you eat, how you exercise, your relationship, your career, adding supplements and things like that. So we're going to talk about CBD today and how we can add that as another component for our wellness journey. And so I'm just excited to be that Debbie has taken me under her wing and just going to help and guide me so that I can be the best health coach for you, so that we can do great things so that you can do great things in the world in a body that's healthy and happy. So let me introduce Miss Debbie Smith Torrence. And just Debbie, will you just tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Okay, my name is Debbie Smith Torrence. I am an entrepreneur, actually a manufacturer. We manufacture CBD products that are third-party lab tested. They are all formulated in FDA registered facilities. All of them are GMP compliant. And the most important thing is that they're third-party lab tested, which will be in compliance with what the federal government is seeking to have all states regulate in that area. We're self-regulated, and we're regulated in our state, as that's what we have to have as well. Before you put formulations on the street, you want to make sure that they're safe human consumption. So you just can't do that. Also, I am a life and a health coach as well. And I had a journey also along in those areas. And so I am multifaceted in the things that I believe in, which are centered around optimal wellness, natural wellness, and also about molecules, cannabinoid molecules, and plant-based wellness. And so that's what I specialize in. After my journey of illness and ending up in the ICU and having a choice between either radiation therapy or surgery, I chose not to do either. And I was able to actually regulate my system through plant-based, just consuming plant-based nutrients. And I learned a lot along the way. And then when I found out the value of it, I wanted to share it with others, invested my money into actually launching a CBD company for distribution, wholesale, and retail. We're trademarked in the state of Indiana. We do own the company, my husband and myself, and we have 5 different divisions that we literally created. One is the natural wellness for human consumption, which would be CBD oil drops. We have a relief line as well, which is the topicals, the tinctures. We also have up to 3,500 milligrams. We also have a skincare line, 2 different variations in the skincare line, natural wellness and incorporated with natural extract. We have a spa line and we have a pet line and our relief line. So we have different lines that we brought to market, and we're super excited for what we're doing. We're venturing even further. We're going into the world of weight management and some other areas in men's health along those issues with natural extracts. So with that being said, that's where we are. And I'd like to be able to share more with everyone on day about natural wellness through cannabinoid molecules, and to dispel the myth around, oh, I don't want to be high. I don't want to use weed. I don't want to use marijuana. Actually, too, where the world is going to in terms of natural wellness. So, Alicia, with that being said, I'm ready to, explain anything that you would have me explain.
So you're a health and life coach as well. So why was it important for you to go the route of using CBD in your health coaching practice to help people?
Well, because as someone, we all have a lot of barriers that we face, and some people have meltdowns. Some people just have hurdles they can't get over and they need help. And, I myself, I was in this journey. And so I was in this fight. So within doing that, I ended up in the ICU and realizing that there is a whole world out there for nutrition, natural wellness, optimal wellness. As I went further and further into researching, trying to get out and actually being able to balance my own body through epigenetics as well. Then I started to understand other people needs. I want to share this. I want to have a platform. I want to help other people. So I just wanted to be a life coach. And a lot, because I was doing it already for 6 years. I just didn't have the name. I was already doing it. And I wanted to be a wellness coach, nutrition coach. So I wanted to work in those areas. And then we discovered what plant-based, different type of plant-based botanicals could do for your body. And then I discovered to work within this industry. I think I'm losing you. So I'd love to be able to work within this industry. And so I just didn't want to do network marketing and CBD. I didn't want to work for someone else. I felt that I wanted to invest in myself. I wanted to invest, me and my husband wanted to invest in our belief system and do it the way we thought that it should be done. So, we studied a lot. We looked at what was going on in the federal government. We looked at a lot of things that was going on, and we just decided that this is really going to help a lot of people in the areas of PTSD. It can promote, people where they can feel a better sense of calm, and it helps with relief and things of that nature. So when we discovered what CBD really was all about, it's a molecule, and those are molecules, and people think that CBD is one thing. No, there's over 111 different cannabinoid molecules, and THC and CBD just make up one of over the 111. And us people, for those of you out there that feel like, oh, I don't want weed in my body, you already have an indigenous cannabinoid in your system that mimics THC. Let me explain the science to you. We literally have known about 5 different systems in the body. And the 5 different systems, let me put my glasses on, let me show everything right. The 5 different, because I go into my mode when I have my glasses on. Different systems in our body. The nervous system, the skeletal system. Here it comes, guys. Here it comes. When I put the glasses on, I'm ready to go to work. So it's the muscular skeletal system, our central nervous system, and our circulatory system. But there is actually another system that has been discovered by science that is supreme to all of those. And and so it's supreme to all of those. It's like it acts like an immuno. So it acts like this. I'm going to break it down in natural terms. It actually acts as if these systems, when they're working together and they're working correctly, we have something called homeostasis in our systems. Mm-hmm. That's immunosurveillance. Understand and even know what that is in conjunction with the cannabinoid system. We already have indigenous cannabinoids in our body, which is CB1 and CB2, located in, we have them in our peripheral organs, our digestive tract. We have them all throughout our bodies, in our actual muscles. We have them everywhere located in our body. And one day we'll do a teaching together and we'll show you what that really looks like in science. And they're located all throughout the whole entire body. And so what happens is that those actual indigenous cannabinoids that we have, they are cellular as well. So when the CBD literally goes into our body, CBD binds to our cell receptors. And a lot of people don't know that. And so we're able to actually absorb those. And so it helps to helps to not, you can't say I'm going to stop taking all my medication. You have to talk to your doctor. But what it does do, it helps to soothe, it helps to relieve, it gives you some type of relief as well. So what happens is that our bodies already have indigenous cannabinoids in them. It's called the endocannabinoid system, known to science now. And so what ends up happening is that system, the endocannabinoid system, say for instance, if we have deficiency. So here we go with the gas tank, or should I use something different today?
Use it.
So let's go into the gas tank. And so say for instance, you have a gas tank across the country, and I need to fill up my tank. And I'm literally going across the country when I fill up my tank. The closer I get to my destination, the more gas that I've consumed. So what ends up happening is that the endocannabinoid system, it starts to deplete in different areas. And so it could be immune health, because everybody knows that the immune system and the endocannabinoid system with CBD, the endocannabinoid system also works with immunosurveillance as well. And so it's looking at immune health. Okay, so what happens is that somewhere along the lines, when there is a deficiency, it sets up inflammation in the body. The number one thing that has been discovered about CBD is inflammation. And we have inflammation in our bodies, everything that you can think of. So we have inflammation, diabetes is inflammation, cardiovascular diseases, and people say, oh, well, they think of, oh, I don't have any. Yeah, you may have inflammation. Arthritis is one of them. So what happens is that, let's think about a sore. So say, for instance, when you have a sore and it starts to swell around that area, that's inflammation. Mm-hmm. So there's your swelling. So what CBD has been known to do in many cases is go in and help and relieve some of those things with relief, some supportive health and things around that nature. And people just really need to get into it and more about CBD. One of the places that I would like for people to go is publishers.net has a lot of information on CBD, and also the Department of Integrative Health has a lot of information. It's valid, a lot of clinical studies on CBD, whereas we stick with the science. We don't go to like just, people talked about the green rose things. No, we're more about sticking to the science, what science tells us, what science tells us, things that have been discovered in science. And then actually, this is a secret system that many of us never even knew existed until today, until now in modern science. We just didn't know the endocannabinoid system actually really existed and the role that it really plays in our body. And so that's why we talk about the car running out of gas, because people know that people that suffer, is a study about PTSD. Most 50% of those people are studied to have shown that their endocannabinoid system, the bliss molecule, the anandamide, which is actually science, that it only acts at only functioning at a 50% rate. And when we understand learned fears and fear of loss and things like that, we actually have a endocannabinoid in our system called the anandamide. Anandamide, when it's operating the way that it should, is responsible for mood, behavior, smiling, laughing, happiness, things of nature. Some people get it confused, but it mimics THC. But that's our own indigenous cannabinoid system that's in our body that it mimics THC. And those are some of the things that you need to look at in immune health. Say, for instance, that a lot of times when women are going through the change in life and menopause, well, they're dealing with immune, different things are going on in their bodies. And you can look at some things can be modulated, not all things, but some things in some areas you can experience relief if you understood the difference between the different cannabinoids. Some people, everybody screams CBD. It's much more to it. It's CBA, CBG, it's all kind of cannabinoids, and they're not just CBD. And that's something else that once we get into a live training, we'll go deeper and deeper and deeper into this. We'll go deeper and deeper into how the body reacts to anxiety in CBD, how the body reacts to stress in CBD, how the body reacts to inflammation in CBD. All those different areas are areas that we can really, really, really tap into. And when you think about it, Melisha, if someone calls you and they're having a full-blown breakdown, some things you can't coach away. Some things we want immediate relief for. We want someone that's just in a full-blown blowout. They need immediate relief. And so we give them a gummy, which is the isolate, has no THC in it, 900 milligrams in a bottle. Okay. And they're able to experience some type of relief because we know because of all the different when people, what do you call that? I've got so much in my mind when people leave a review, all the different reviews and testimonials that they're leaving. And it's really making a difference on our website, auspiciouswellness.com, whether it's our topicals, whether it's our CBD, CBD drops. There's two different ones. Some people will say, well, I don't want to have THC in my system, or I can't. Then you go to broad spectrum because it doesn't contain any THC. Then you ask yourself, well, how do I know that? Well, look at the lab report, scan the barcode on the action. You can see what the potency is, what the purity is. Has it been tested for solvents? Has it been tested for pesticides? Has it been tested for heavy metals? These are things that we need to know is happening, that they've been tested before we consume anything in our bodies. That's how you know a good brand, because it's been tested by independent third-party lab. That means you have to send that sample to a lab that is not connected to you. That lab, you don't own it. You have no type of ownership in it. You have no type of business dealings with it. That an independent lab, and that lab needs to also be certified through as well. And so this is how we validate the efficacy of what we're doing in the CBD industry, and not just to create products. I've seen products with no CBD. I've seen them with no QR codes on them. And I say, well, how do you know? How does a person know what they're really taking? Another thing is, I had a very interesting conversation too that I want to explain about, is that a person said to me, they said, well, and I'm going to break it down in layman terms. But you know what? Your gummies are $80, and my friend, she bought some gummies for $35. And I said, okay. So I knew we were about to go to school, but because I'm in this industry, I had to practice patience, and I had to be able to explain it to her, and I had to show her that I really, really cared and I really understood my product. And so she said to me, why is yours more? And I said, well, let's break this down. Do you have the bottle? She said, yes. I said, okay, good. I said, what I need for you to do is I need you to tell me how many servings are in that bottle. And she said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, how long does the bottle last? She said, 30 days. I said, good. I said, so then you have 30 gummies in there, right? And she said, yeah. I said, okay, so how many milligrams is it? And she says, well, what does it do anything? It has a lot to do with it. It's just, if you answer my question, I can answer your question. And I asked her, how many milligrams does it have in it? She says, it has 300 milligrams. I said, okay, now we're getting somewhere. I said, so 300 milligrams, so 300 divided by 30 is what? She said 10. I said, so that person is taking 10 milligrams, but not exactly, okay? And she said, well, what do you mean? It says 10. And I said, not exactly, because after the body absorbs it, the absorption
And it's not going to always, after the liver enzymes, and it goes through all the systems in the liver enzymes, then you're probably getting anywhere from 25 to 35. And that's science. That's what you're really consuming. And I said, so let's break it down even further. I said, that's 10 milligrams. Let's go look at our bottle. So how many milligrams does it say? She says 900. I said, how many servings? She says 30. And then I said, so that means you're getting 30 milligrams per serving, which is 3 times more. If you're paying $35 for 30, if you're paying $35 for 300 milligrams, then you time that times 3, which takes you to 900 milligrams. So if I added the $35 up, then you would have been paying them $105 for our $81 bottle, just to equal what we're giving away. So you're losing, and you have to do this the same way when you go to the grocery store and there's a 2-pound bag of flour, and then there's a 5-pound bag of flour. It's the same thing. Math is math. Numbers are numbers. Numbers are numbers. There's nothing you can do to defeat the numbers. So, okay. So let's anyway, so to the doctor.
I hope I'm sorry that there seems to be a little distortion. There must be a lot of people on this weekend, and so
it really is
a delay. I really apologize for the delay today that is going on in this broadcast. If we cannot go live, continue live, what me and Debbie may do is just do a one-on-one recording, and then I will play it back, because this is information I really want you guys to hear. Debbie, am I garbled? Are hearing me?
It's really bad.
Okay.
It's dragging. It's dragging.
Just a second. Just 1 second. I'm listening to my other recording, but I can hear it on. I think we could go on, because I can hear it when I'm on my other other page. It may be garbled in our studio, but on the Facebook sounds good. Anybody tell me that's out there, how does it sound to you? Does it sound garbled? Because I really want to know. Because I've got 3 people on. I've got Terry on, and I've got Sharon, who's a health coach, and I've got Will, and Danielle, and Carly. How does it sound to you guys? Because it's garbled for me, but I want to know what it sounds like to you.
Let me see what my people are saying.
Because this information is so good, I don't want you to miss any of it, because that explanation that she was giving about the difference between the different CBDs that you can get in the store and the Auspicious Wellness formulation, they measure. So information is so good. I don't want you to miss any of it. You know what, Debbie? It is going out pretty good, so it sounds pretty good. So let's just go for it. I think just maybe our studio, it sounds garbled in the studio, but on Facebook,
it's really. If we come back to it, because I'm looking at it too, and it's really, really bad, and you're coming in really, really bad. You are.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? This happened last week, and it is so frustrating. I don't know. We may start this in a minute again. I may think about doing Zoom. I don't know if Zoom goes live. I'm not sure. I don't do Zoom or not. But what I'm going to do, I had to end the show last week. We're going to end this show. And then what I think I'm going to do is maybe me and Debbie will just do the recording, and we'll play it back, and then we'll do something. So I apologize, but there's no reason for you to have to listen to this. So I'm going to end the show. Thank you for tuning in, and we have a lot of people on today, which is so strange. Second.
Well, if you want to, what we can do is we can all log off and come back again. And if you want to just go live, we can do. If you want,
it's all jumbled.
Can you hear me?
We're gonna
better now.
Yeah, it's bad. I had this last week, so I don't know if StreamYard. I have to contact StreamYard because I had the same thing last week. So I don't like it. So it messes with my flow. So, but anyway,
Okay, well, let's see. Since all guests are in, why don't we do this? Since the guests are in, let's try and do this. Let's see if we can switch to a different channel and invite you. Give me all the guests. Just find out if they want us to switch to a different channel, and then you give me the guests. If you want, you can go Facebook Live. That might help because it's
on Facebook Live. Let me see. We used to could do Facebook Lives where you could do two people in a row.
You can share your screen. You can do that on Facebook Live.
Do you know how to do Facebook Live when you can see two people on at the same time? You used to could do it. That's why I went to StreamYard because you can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And the thing,
we look and see,
the thing is, we got so many people on today.
Do you have more?
You know what I may do? I may end this broadcast and we may start it again and see what happens. I'm gonna end.